Most people come to the market asking the wrong question. They ask, how much money can I make? And that single question's seductive, exciting. Intoxicating is the very reason most traders never survive. Because the market does not reward hope. It punishes it. The difference between those who disappear and those who endure for decades is not intelligence, luck, or even strategy. It is one brutal discipline, the mastery of risk. Today, we are not talking about how to get rich quickly. We are talking about how the legends stayed alive long enough to get rich at all. The amateur enters the market like a dreamer walking into a casino. His mind is consumed by visions of profit, jackpots, and life-changing gains. He hunts upside and ignores danger, and by doing so, he unknowingly walks straight toward destruction. The professional speculator begins from the opposite end of the spectrum. His first thought is not profit, but survival. Asterisk, this single question is the great dividing line between those built to last and those destined to be wiped out. The amateur is fueled by optimism and hope. The professional is governed by realism and discipline. He understands a truth that time teaches harshly. Without capital, there is no speculation. Trader without capital is like a general without an army. His ideas no longer matter. Capital is the lifeblood of speculation, the ammunition in a long and unforgiving war against uncertainty. This is why Jesse Livermore built his entire philosophy around one unbreakable law: preservation of capital above all else. It was not a guideline. It was his religion. Risk management is not guesswork or emotion. It is a science forged through victories, refined through devastating losses, and hardened by experience. It exists to protect the trader, not from the market, but from himself. These principles, documented with unmatched clarity and asterisk reminiscences of a stock operator asterisk, form a defensive shield against human fallibility. And with that foundation established, we begin the dissection of the core principles that defined Livermore's method. The first and greatest law is simple: preserve capital above all else. The goal is not to get rich, it is to survive. The first victory is not a massive profit, but the ability to return to the market tomorrow. Capital is inventory. Just as a shopkeeper would never allow thieves to walk out with his goods, a speculator must never allow carelessness or emotion to steal his capital. Those who fail to prioritize preservation are not traders, they are gamblers, rushing toward financial oblivion. Professionals treat speculation as a business, and the first rule of any business is staying in business. This requires a defensive mindset. Every trade, every decision, every action must pass through one filter. Does this increase or decrease risk to my capital? If conditions are unclear or odds are unfavorable, the professional does nothing. The market will be there tomorrow. His job is to make sure he is too. Capital preservation is not cowardice, it is courage. The courage to wait, to admit error, and to protect strength until the moment to strike arrives. The second principle is the ruthless cutting of losses. If capital preservation is the law, cutting losses is its enforcement. A loss is not an opinion, it is the market's verdict. The professional does not argue with the tape. He obeys it immediately. The amateur, however, negotiates with reality. He hopes, rationalizes, and delays while damage spreads. A small loss taken quickly is insignificant to business expense. A loss left unattended becomes catastrophic, anchoring the trader to a mistake and poisoning future judgment. Taking a loss is not failure. It is professionalism. The ego resists it, but the professional has learned that ego is a luxury he cannot afford. His job is not to be right. It is to lose little when wrong and gain greatly when right. The third principle is absolute. Never average down a losing position. This is the speculator's mortal sin. To average down is to double down on error, reinforcing failure instead of correcting it. The amateur sees falling prices as opportunity. The professional sees weakness confirmed. A stock that falls is not cheaper, is weaker. To buy more is to argue with the market itself. Losing positions must be closed, never increased. To do otherwise is digging deeper while already trapped in a hole. The fourth principle balances defense with offense. Let profits run. Cutting losses ensures survival, but allowing winners to grow is what builds fortunes. The amateur exits winning trades early, afraid of losing paper gains. He secures small profits and calls it wisdom. In reality, he caps his upside while leaving downside unlimited. Livermore said it was never thinking that made him rich, it was sitting. Great profits are made in the quiet middle of a trend, not at the breakout. The man who masters patience captures life-changing moves. He allows success to compound. The fifth principle is to never overtrade. Constant action is a gambler's disease. The amateur cannot tolerate cash. He feels compelled to be involved. This leads to trading noise instead of trends, death by small losses, and mental exhaustion. The professional understands that the most. Profitable position is often no position at all. He conserves not just money, but mental clarity. He waits for rare hyperability moments. He is paid for judgment, not activity. The sixth principle is mathematical discipline. Risk only a small fraction of capital per trade. Betting big feels courageous, but it is reckless. Professionals risk small, typically 1 to 2% per idea. This guarantees survival. Even 10 losses in a row do not destroy them. Position sizing removes fear, allowing clear decisions. It makes fatal damage mathematically impossible. The seventh principle is patience for clear signals. The market is not predicted, is read. Professionals react. Amateurs anticipate. Real opportunity announces itself through decisive breakouts supported by volume. Anything before that is hope. The trader waits sometimes for months until evidence replaces opinion. The market offers rare moments of clarity, and the professional is prepared when they arrive. The eighth principle is understanding that cash is a position. Being in cash is not failure, it is strength in reserve. Cash provides clarity, flexibility, and emotional neutrality. In confused markets, the professional steps aside. He waits while others bleed. When conditions align, he enters with confidence and strength intact. And this is the ultimate lesson. Survival is victory. The trader who cannot be killed by the market eventually wins. By mastering defense, discipline, and restraint, the professional transforms speculation from gambling into strategy and ensures that when opportunity comes, he is still standing.